Welcome to the deep dive. Our goal: simple. We sift through stacks of sources to pull out the key insights, giving you, well, a shortcut to getting up to speed.
Exactly, cutting through the noise.
And today we're tackling something pretty interesting, something that kind of pushes back against a common idea. Most of us probably figure, that the old biblical priesthoods, they're finished, right? Done away with.
That's the general thought, yeah.
Okay, so let's unpack this a bit because the material we've looked at suggests something much more complex, almost harmonious, actually, for the end times.
Yeah, it does.
We're diving into how two really different seeming priestly paths might work together, like with one goal.
That's right. This deep dive points towards a divine setup where you've got this universal group of believers
Right.
working kind of alongside a very specific task force, all in sync, supposedly.
Okay, so let's start with the big one, the foundation for all believers. That's the universal priesthood under Melchizedek, Jesus Christ as the high priest.
The absolute cornerstone.
And what really jumps out from the sources here is this, radical focus on equality. It even quotes Christ saying, "It will not be so among you."
Yeah, and what that means practically for this Ecclesia, the assembly of believers, is, it's profound.
How so?
It means every single member has the, quote, same level of authority over the next, no hierarchy there.
Okay.
And the sources say this design actively prevents human leaders from causing divisions. It sort of invites the real Joshua Messiah, Jesus Christ, to take lead as the head.
So Christ is directly in charge, no middle management, so to speak.
Exactly. And joining in is simple, really organic. Any two believers or more can be an assembly.
Wow.
And everyone gets to share a psalm, some teaching, a revelation, whatever. It keeps Christ as the, quote, one mediator between Elohim, the God and people.
That's a really democratic, accessible picture. Okay, But then running parallel to this, the sources talk about a totally separate and distinct division.
The Renewed Levitical Priesthood, the RLP.
Yeah, the RLP. And this group, unlike the Ecclesia, is hierarchical. It says it's completely under the hierarchical control of its priest,
Right.
who operates with Urim Thummim. And that sounds, very different, very structured.
It is. And what's fascinating here is the RLP's very specific job. The Urim Thummim, those were like ancient tools for getting divine guidance.
Right, for knowing God's will.
Exactly.
Oh.
So it signals direct authority for their leader, who's identified as a sort of end-time Elijah figure, and their mission, the restoration of altar sacrifices done as a memorial in the last days.
Okay, memorial sacrifices. That's a key point.
Crucial. The sources stress this is not about atonement. Christ handled that, finished work. This is a prophetic restoration, pointing back to what he did.
Like a reminder.
A powerful reminder, yeah.
Yeah.
And this specific work, prophesied for the last days, it's funded differently too, by tithes. The RLP is called the only divine authority on earth to receive the tithe. And this is based on what the sources call an everlasting covenant of Levi.
Okay, wow. So you've got this very flat, equal structure for everyone.
The Ecclesia.
And then this specific hierarchical group, the RLP, with its own funding and mission. How on earth do they coexist? It seems like a clash.
Well, the sources argue it's not a clash, it's actually divine wisdom. They use an analogy like the United States of America having different separate communities within it, different functions, different structures, but part of one whole.
Okay, I can sort of see that, but how do they interact? Like if an RLP member goes to a general Ecclesia gathering.
That's the really important question. And there's a clear rule laid out.
Which is?
Basically, when any member of the Renewed Levitical Priesthood functions within the universal Ecclesia, they enter that assembly on an equal level of authority to any other member. Full stop.
So the RLP hierarchy stays within the RLP's specific function. It doesn't carry over into the General Assembly of Believers.
Precisely. Their structure is purely functional for that prophetic memorial sacrifice mission. It doesn't give them, a higher spiritual rank in the general body.
So it's a kind of symbiotic thing. You get freedom and equality for all believers in the Ecclesia, but also the structure needed for the specific prophetic job, restoring those memorial sacrifices, like you see mentioned in, say, Malachi or Ezekiel's temple vision.
Exactly. It allows for both simultaneously. Order for the prophecy, freedom for the believer.
So pulling it all together, this deep dive really shows a picture of, profound harmony in the end times, according to these sources, a universal body where Christ is the undisputed head, working right alongside a very specialized group carrying out a distinct prophetic task. It suggests a divine plan that balances freedom and order in a really intricate way.
It definitely makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Consider what this detailed vision, these two different but harmonious priesthoods working together, what that might suggest about the sheer precision, the depth, maybe, of divine planning for what's ahead.